imagine someone building a lifestyle resort chain where you actually had wellness facilities, a paddle court, the best gym in Bali, etc.
Yeah.
I think that's too much.
Mind blowing.
It's more than just properties.
100%.
We talk a place that has been nominated as island #1 in the world for the last 12 years.
Guys, welcome back to the COCO Founders Talk, episode number 2. Now, last time we had an episode with Rasmus, the founder of COCO Development Group. We were bombarded by community questions revolving the investment opportunities here in Bali. So, first of all, welcome back, Rasmus, to your own show. Now, let's dive into the questions asked by the community. So, a question that was asked a lot by the community was, first of all, what is the main reason to invest in Bali, if not compared to the rest of the world?
You can say to keep it in short, like I would say Bali is probably the best place in the world where you can invest right now, for various reasons. But I would say, like, just take it from a perspective of branding and tourism. If you look at it from a perspective of branding, Bali is not like a new thing just happened last year. Like, Bali has always been Bali.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly when, but I think it was like something like in the 80s they talked about the first time there was overdevelopments in Bali. It's just to give some perspective. That's how long the history goes back. We talk a place that has been nominated as island #1 in the world for the last 12 years. I said that last year as well, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe it's 13 years by now. No, I think it's 12 years. And I would say, from my point of view, as the founder of COCO Development Group, I've obviously been involved in let's say quite high level of developments and real estate projects here in Ireland. I was, from my point of view, if we look 2-3 years back, and COVID was just over, or in the process of being over, at least mentally, everything that was in my head was just, I just knew that the world would change. I just knew that it's people are simple. If you say to people that you can't do this, and you put people in a box for a certain period of time, well, what happens after? A lot of people, they want to explore.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they come out of their normal comfort zone. What does that mean? That means that when they come back to life, well, it's a new life they come back to. And if you see it from a perspective of Bali, like, so many people, they live here today.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was 20% more international travelers arriving in Bali in the Q1 2025 compared to 2024.
Wow.
In December was the month of, like, in the history of Bali, there has been the most travelers coming to Bali.
That's crazy.
And don't get me wrong, but it's not rocket science. Bali is an incredible place to be.
Yeah, definitely. What you say about Bali is Bali is so true. I was talking with an investor on the phone, and he's invested in Ibiza, in Miami, or in Dubai. But what he wanted to say is, Ibiza is Ibiza. Miami is Miami.
Yeah.
Well, recently Dubai is not like 50 years old, so popular, but still it's the same. It's now Dubai is Dubai.
Dubai is
like those places and those names
Yeah.
are not going to change, just like Bali is Bali.
Bali is Bali, yeah.
Okay, so another question that came up from the community a lot was, why would one invest in a big development company compared to a small development company? What are the main differences, maybe risk differences between the two?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I can say the other question I also often get from investor, or let's say at least a communication, a talk I have with a lot of clients, like, let's say, interested in investing together with us, is the comparison about, like, should I build a villa myself versus going with you? You can say it's a little bit the same talk.
Yeah.
And as I used to say, quite transparent. Like, when I go into communication with someone, I always look at the objective. As I also always say to the team, was that your need or the client's need? That was your need. Stop thinking about your own need. This is not about you. This is about finding the right solution for the client. And so to back to, let's say, for example, building your own villa versus investing with let's call us a full service solution where we do the development, we do the management, we do the marketing, we do the branding, we do the architectural design, we do all legal processes. Building a small banana cake or making a big banana cake, it's the same work. I'm sorry to say, but it's the same work. If we build a resort with 60 properties, that means we need to order 60 beds. If you build one villa, well, you still need to order a bed. You still need to do a due diligence, etc., etc. That answered maybe not 100% the question. So let's put it back to why a big developer versus a small developer. So my answer was maybe more based on like building yourself versus investing with a developer. But like from a perspective of investing with a big versus small, I would say you can compare it a little bit to investing with a big company versus a small company. You can say from our point of view, we have a lot of eyes on us. So let's say from a point of operation, marketing, etc. We simply just have a bigger operation about everything we do. And let's bring that back to ecosystem that creates synergy around all of the places, all the things we do. So, for example, some of our coming paddle adventures, etc., etc. Like for us, it's not just you don't just invest into a property. Like yes, you can invest with, let's say, a smaller developer and invest into a property, and then yes, you own that property.
Yeah,
that's not what we do.
Yeah,
we're building an ecosystem, like with lifestyle benefits around it. You can travel with COCO, buy a 2 or 3 weeks travel package and stay in our Amazon jungle resort, our lifestyle resort in Uluwatu. You can go to the north. I would say it's more than just properties.
100%. It touches on our conversation the other day about the growth of wellness tourism and how hotels are being left behind if they don't offer any wellness retreat options in their hotels. We offer a lot of living perks, all these saunas, these ice baths, these things that the people are looking for these days in terms of their health and wellness. So it's really good. It's a good point that you answer here. Okay. Coming to this, another question was, for example, okay, if I'm going with a big developer versus a small developer, why would I go for an apartment in a resort compared to building my own villa?
I think also good, super good question. You can say everything is supply demand. That's simple market understanding, and then it's about differentiating yourself. I spoke about this in a podcast just when we started COCO Development Group. If there is only resorts on the market, and there's only apartments, and there is this one person who starts to build villas, well, then he would have a big advantage because there's no villas on the market. Let's say that was the case.
Yeah.
The facts are just that it's quite opposite. As I used to say to clients, like what we stand for is bringing people together, creating memories and creating connections. So like we're not. It's not about an apartment or villa. It's about creating, foster the connection and create shared facilities where people can meet each other. Mm-hmm. Because as I see the hotel industry, it's like brunches and infinity pools on rooftops. Like those days are over.
We need more.
It's about the experience.
Yeah.
It's about the amenities. It's about the things you can do in your daily day.
100%.
And I just think from a perspective of, like, as I also said at Investment Forum, and as I said out to the audience, a little bit cocky maybe, but like come on, like how funny. Like I live in a villa myself, and I like it, but I also work a lot. But like if I came here on holiday, like there's not that many things to do in this villa.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, I have a good view and so on, but like those days are over. And then what? Then I go out in what you typically call the third space.
Yeah.
Then I would go down on a beach club.
Yeah.
I would go down in a gym.
Yeah.
I would go to a co-working. I would go on a restaurant. I would go on a nightclub. Why would I go to all of these places? Well, because I'm searching for experience.
Yeah.
I'm searching for a story to tell my friends or my family, etc.
Yeah.
Something that makes me happy. This is what I typically myself call the third space. And we want to integrate in the places we create. Because then what happens? Then we create a community.
Yeah.
Create connections and experiences around the places staying in our properties. And as I usually say, like if you ask me what is the best place I've been in the world, I guarantee you it's not based on the place I stay, but the people I met.
It's a really good point. It's a really good point. It's so true. When you go on holidays, I realized by hanging around you that, or maybe living in Bali, I'm not sure, that it's true. When you go on holidays and you go in a hotel, you're using the hotel just to sleep and eat. But because you're still going to go to the gym, but you're just going to have a look for a gym. If there was a gym in a hotel, it would be even better.
Yeah.
If there was an ice bath,
It
a
would be
sauna,
even better.
a co-working,
Yeah.
it would be just even better.
It's stairs to heaven, and on the top you're finding a small paddle court with some neon light and
if there was, you know,
if just someone would build something
if someone
like that.
would build this type of facility.
I think I would leave Earth. I think it would be too good to be true. Also think it would be very complicated. Imagine someone building a lifestyle resort chain where you actually had wellness facilities, a paddle court, the best gym in Bali, etc. I think that's too much.
Mind blowing. And a COCO community card which gives you perks along the island.
Nah,
Oh my God.
it would be too much.
Okay, another question that we had was, you mainly offer leasehold. You don't just offer leaseholds. I know you offer some freeholds, but why do most investors invest in leasehold when they invest in COCO Development properties?
To clarify, to make it clear, like for example, COCO Hills is a freehold, so we are the landowner. It's not owned by the government, it's not owned by local Indonesian.
Yeah.
We have a company that owns COCO Hills. So you can say, why are we not only offering freehold? Well, because as I also said a little bit earlier, like, is it my need or is it the client's need? It's not about what's best for us, it's about what is best for the client, and with other words, what is best for the client's cash flow. And that's also what I typically say to our clients. Having the opportunity to invest into a leasehold is probably one of the best thing that could ever happen to a real estate market, because it actually just means that instead of you have to, let's make an example, freehold means that you own the land forever.
Yeah.
That's expensive because the land obviously becomes more expensive versus leasing the land.
Yeah.
We give the clients the option to lease the property for 30 years, and then we give them a fixed price for upgrading it for a 30-year lease to freehold.
Yeah.
That means the clients have 5 years, in our cases 5 years, to take the decision. Instead of that, you have to pay all of this money up front, aka better cash flow, higher returns.
All right, very good answer. And for example, you're talking about Uluwatu, this property called COCO Hills. What makes you decide you're going to build a project here in Canggu or Sisse area, one in Uluwatu? What is the main factor that makes you decide where you're going to build your projects?
I was about to say something stupid, but now I'm going to have to just answer the question. It's actually quite simple. It's simply based on two simple numbers: occupancy rate and rental prices.
Okay.
Nothing more complicated than that. We are simply just looking into data, for example, from a source called QnA, which is, let's call it Airbnb, the backend, all rental data.
Okay.
What is the growth in specific areas? For example, occupancy rate, rental price. Is it mainly the luxury segment? Is it what is called the mid-scale segment? What is performing? Is it a 1-bedroom? Is it a 3-bedroom? And then from there you can say, it's also like, of course, it's a ground feel, like, you know, like it's called a stomach feeling. I don't think nobody's calling that, but it's also like, you know, having understanding. Is everybody, again, back to differentiating yourself. If everybody is building bohemian, white-collared villas, maybe we should do something else. If everybody is building 1-beds and 3-beds is performing really well, maybe we should build 3-beds, you know? So sometimes it's also just like in the bigger picture, running a company or in general doing a good investment is just, I said it in a podcast a few weeks ago, the most important qualifications you can have as an entrepreneur is communication and calculation. Let's focus on calculation. It is simply just to analyze and understand numbers. You know, if you want to make numbers, you need to understand numbers.
Fascinating. Yes, I get this a lot. When I talk to someone who's interested in a COCO property, and then they come to me and they say, actually, you're right. There's 3 rules to there's 3 rules to in properties, and it's location, location, location. And I hear this a lot from them. I'm not telling them this. So it must be a saying around the world, like 3 rules, location, 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 and it just makes sense with every COCO project.
Yeah.
To this point, there is a rumor circulating that there might be a project in Lovina. Could you tell us, first of all, confirm if it's true or not, and also what made you choose Lovina? Is there a specific reason you'd move so far up north?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I'll say there is a few different reasons behind it. One, let's call it a big happening in Bali called an airport. So let's try to take it from a calculation point of view. I don't know how many people is going to land in it, but let's just say the first year that 1 million people is going to arrive in the airport, or 2 million people, based on like yearly arrivals in Bali at the point of that it's finished from construction. Let's just say 2 million people is landing in that airport yearly. Let's just say that's the case. Well, then you have, again, numbers, traffic, you have 2 million people. In the same way as if you have out of nowhere 2 million people who's going to visit this website. Then that website is quite interesting to partner with. So I would say mainly because of the airport, but also you can say from an understanding of the, let's say, the development of Bali in general. Canggu, Uluwatu, also Ubud for that case, but let's focus on Ubud and let's focus on Canggu and Uluwatu. It's 2 hotspots. Incredible places. I live here myself. I love it. But it is also crowded. And if the infrastructure doesn't focus, well, what does that mean? It's the same as you see in general in also in Europe or around the world. Urbanization. What happens? People move out of the city. People is searching for maybe more peace. That can also be a buying behavior, a reason to choosing a location. So Lovina is an incredible place. You have dolphins, you have horses, you have a plankton that looks like the star night just on Earth. You have like, what is it called? The Twin Lakes. You have strawberry gardens. You have nature. Like Lovina is an incredible place.
Lovina is incredible. The dolphin thing is mind-blowing.
I've never seen them.
No? Oh my God.
I'm a very honest man. I don't think the dolphins have seen me. I haven't seen them. Okay, but
they're in for a treat if they see you.
I think it's mixed feelings. No.
Last episode you said you.
No. More tourists coming to Lovina. Fuck you, Ras.
No, the dolphins is really, really a beautiful sight. It's not even just for a show or because it's on podcast. It was incredible to see dolphins this close. Swim with them. It was mind-blowing for me.
That's cool.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Rasmus, for answering most of the community questions. If you have more questions that you would like me to ask this wonderful man here to my left, then you can drop them down in our DMs at COCO Development Group on Instagram. Be sure to follow the YouTube channel, and we'll see you in episode number 3.